Welcome to the final run of the first day of Frost Fatales 2023. I am RoadkillRevenge, my pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be running Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and I am joined by my good friend and other Spyro runner.
Hello, I'm MadzBrutal. I'm going to be chilling here with Rhodey as she absolutely blazes through Spyro 3 Reignited.
Yes, thank you all so much for joining. And also, just right before we get started, I just very quickly want to say thank you so much for donating to have this bonus game met. I am just super excited to be here to show this game off to you all. But yeah, as much as I still want to punish money bags, so keep those donations coming and let's get this run on the road. Mads, do you want to count me down?
Yeah, absolutely. So time will start when she selects the game here. This is Reignited Trilogy. We have all three of them. We're playing the third one. So if you're ready, we'll start in 3, 2, 1. All right. And there's going to be some cutscene skips here. And at the very beginning, there's a bunch of a gauntlet of quick tricks. So I'll start actually explaining this. So in Spyro 3, we're going to be collecting gems, and we're going to be collecting eggs. Those are the main things that we're going to be doing. For movement, we have our charge, our jump, and our glide. And the glide is going to actually offer a lot of movement options to us. And you're going to see, after we load into the world, that Rhodey's going to be doing some interesting, here we go, movement up here, grabbing the first egg. And then to get around a cutscene that's before this first level, she's going to glide on the edge of this rock here and get a little bit of height and then hover. That's called a wall glide. And there's a lot of places, including this invisible wall here, that you can wall glide on, get right up there, and get our other egg. So we're going to be doing a lot of wall glides to get us to unintended places. We enter our first level. And again, we went around to get that egg, and because there's a cutscene trigger in front of this level normally. So we won't have to deal with that. We won't have to talk to Bianca. And we have another really long wall glide over an abyss. Here she comes.
Thinking that's a little
Easy.
safe.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Can you recover
Salvage.
it? Nice. There we go.
Woo.
Easy. Yeah, there's a little invisible area on the wall that kind of knocks you down. You can't wall glide on. But that was really well done with the recovery. And we've already got, 3 eggs? So we're going to be getting 100 eggs over the course of this run, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And as you can see, every time you get these eggs, it sort of locks you into a specific camera location, which actually makes the movement outside of picking up these eggs a bit challenging, and each egg is a little bit different when it comes to the movement you have to do outside of their camera animations. It's something you're going to be seeing a lot over the course of this run. And just like that, I got to the end of the very first level, which gives us an egg. So like Mad said, we need 100 eggs total over the course of the run. But we also need to be getting to the end of each and every level. And that is because in Spyro 3, you have to complete each level to get access to the boss of that level. Because all of our friends come together and help us build our form of transportation to get to the end of the level. So here I'm actually gliding over that cutscene trigger again and doing that wall glide for the second time just to get around that cutscene trigger. And I'm glad I didn't bonk because Mads has a counter for my bonks.
Yes. When I ran Spyro Reignited last year and a half ago, whenever it was, for Fatales, a million years ago, Rhodey was so kind to count every single time I bonked. You have actually bonked once, I believe.
Oh no.
So it's going to be $5, and we have a really cool long wall glide here.
I missed it just barely.
Okay.
No. My launch
That's
was
okay.
bad.
This one's really tough. So walls are basically every single jump and every single wall glide is kind of unique in the game. You kind of have to remember what parts of a wall are wall glidable, what parts aren't. You have to take certain angles. Your camera angle, especially on this jump right here, kind of matters for your distance and your timing. So there's a lot of just like nuances. While there's general rules, you have to also remember the specifics of every jump. And there you go, got it. Easy.
Still a little rough, but I made it, so it counts.
This is a really good egg to see the kind of camera movement on. You see how the camera locks in there as she runs away. You basically have to also memorize what direction to hold the joystick on, like basically all the eggs. So it's kind of a lot.
Yep, and so that was actually the final egg for this level, but there are a few more eggs here that I'm going to be getting before the level is over. Yeah, this one up here, this is the Belfry. These guys are a little bit of a pain, but essentially I get access to the Super Glide, and I just have to flame all of these well, I call them ghastlies because they look like ghastlies. I think everybody calls them ghastlies. And we get an egg for that, and we also get there's a thief in here that we can chase down for another egg. And if you played any of the other Spyro games, you're probably familiar with these thieves. They're annoying buckos, to put it nicely. But luckily, there is a set path for him where we can cut him off pretty easily. And yeah, so that's actually an example of, in this game, there are lots of sort of bonus areas you can go into for eggs. Some of them are more annoying than others, and some of them are longer than others. That is actually an intentional bonk. So you can count that if you want.
Of course, that's what they all say. Meant to do it.
Yes, the Stephanie egg is a bit weird. For whatever reason, that egg, it takes a while to start to trigger the animation. But if you go and bonk the wall, or if you specifically just get behind that enemy that I flamed, for whatever reason, it will immediately start the egg cutscene, whereas otherwise it has some trouble. So that's a thing. Just a small time save. So now we're going to complete the gliding tutorial, because that's definitely a thing that, that I don't know how to do yet. That's also a pattern with some of the speedruns of these games, of learning how to glide way after we definitely already know how to glide. I'm going to get this sneaky little egg here in this rock. Head bash is something that is only used in a very few places in this run, but that is one of them. And now into Molten Crater. And this level is... it's pretty straightforward. It's mostly just a beeline to the end, but again, dealing with some annoying enemies and some weird camera movements. Right here, I'm going to be intentionally doing what is called an auto hover. This is something that's unique to the Reignited trilogy, if you want to talk about them, Mads.
Yeah, so we have this hover ability. You've seen it a few times with a couple perfect hovers, which we'll probably explain again later. But what essentially you do at the end of your glide, you press triangle and you get a little extra height, and it kind of terminates your glide. Auto hover, if you are just barely... That was really clean. That's a
really
deceptively hard level. Good job. Anyways, if you kind of just barely are going to miss a jump, it'll auto hover. It's a little shorter than the manual hover, but it gets us up into some tricky places. And
yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's how it works.
In particular, I use it right there because it's a nice little way to just get a really high jump and then let the auto hover take us over that top step so that I don't have to do another jump. Tiny little time save there. And now we're going to be heading into Shore, which is a cool level because it has the only out-of-bounds skip in the entire run. And it is also like 50% an underwater level, which we love underwater movement. I'm actually going to be holding off on my charge here just so I don't accidentally talk to that seal, the NPC. You can do a specific input to avoid talking to him earlier, but I was just taking it a little bit safe there. Getting lots of gems, getting more eggs. There's a bit of a pattern in this game about things that we are collecting. And we're already at 16 eggs. So you want to explain this out of bounds, Matt?
Yeah, out of bound hype here. So basically you get flattened by this one, and as the next one comes in, you just jump, and the hitbox for that second barrel just pushes you out of bounds into this... wait, who's this? This isn't Spyro.
Wait a minute.
What? We haven't met this character before.
I thought we were playing Spyro. What? Who put this different game into my in my Steam library?
What you get to is this where the kind of bonus area is stored out of bounds for the Sheila mini game. If you don't know, there's other characters in Spyro Reignited, or excuse me, Spyro 3. That we'll be unlocking and playing as in certain areas. You usually have to pay money bags to get access to them, whether it's their actual level or the bonus areas for them. But since I'm going out of bounds, we can get right to the Sheila one and blow this thing up for the seals for some reason. I don't really know why.
We'll just jump in here and do some violence. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though we haven't unlocked Sheila yet, we get to do the levels early. That's basically what Mads just said. I just said it again.
Yes.
Okay,
so,
I'm going to try this
tough
jump. I'm really terrible at that jump, but anyway.
I believe.
You saw that? No, you didn't. And so now we enter Bluto. So this is an egg that some people don't do in their route of this game. I do because I find it way less painful than one of the other eggs that I don't do. And it is a little bit RNG dependent, so it looks like I got the good RNG, which is really nice. He can either go towards you or away from you. You want him to go towards you, and you want to get 17 rockets, and what you want to do is for him to go straight after one of the the chests, and it looks like he had absolute. I'm gonna get away from him a little bit here just to be safe. Hopefully, I didn't waste too much time doing that, because he can do that.
Ooh, got one more.
Salvaged. Okay, good. I was way too close there, but that's fine. So yeah, if he goes away from you there, it takes much longer for him to get into that cycle of going to the chests, which is the best time for you to just sit there and wail on him with those torpedoes. And so now we have a lovely auto-scroller here, so if we have some donations, now would be a really wonderful time.
Sure thing. And just a reminder to everyone that this run does have one final incentive for the end of the run. Rody and Mads have been talking a lot about the eggs that you got to collect. I know this is any percent run, but in the last area where there is one final egg, there's money bags, I believe. And we have an incentive to punish money bags. That is sitting at $804 out of $2,000, thanks to generous donations like these. This one from Evan sends in $5 saying, "My dog and I saw an opossum on our walk earlier, and I took that as a sign that we'd get a roadie run tonight. I'm glad the generous Frost Fatale's audience has fulfilled that prophecy." Rody, it's been so great watching your progress on Spyro and other games, and I'm happy to see you at events like this one. Now, let's punish moneybags.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Evan. He's a good friend of mine and amazing, talented crafter who's donated some prizes to this event. So shout out to Evan. But now we head into the Speedway, which is, it's a level. It is the level of all time. Some speedways in Spyro are notoriously difficult casually, especially in the first game. Luckily in Spyro 3, any percent, and Reignited, we only do this one. And it's actually pretty much the fastest to just do it in the intended order. However, I have some trouble with these last couple cycles here, so yeah, Mads, if you want to talk about some of these speedways.
Yeah, speedways, they're fun. They're levels that we have to do, and typically the people don't enjoy them. But coming up right here is the kind of tricky part of this one. You'll see all these butterflies flying in a circle. There's a couple ways that you can kind of get them. Rody's going to do the classic up and down flame. That's a technical term. Ooh, missed that one. That's all right. It's not too big of a time loss to come all the way around. There we go. And snag them all. So that's the only speedway we have to do, though, which is really great. But there's something special in the Spyro 2 and 3 where Hunter has kind of special bonus games in here. So we're going to go around to the secret Hunter. That's bonk. The secret Hunter mission here, and we're shooting down UFOs. Oh, this is a very difficult mini game, casually or speed strats. So there's really tricky movement. Okay,
it's very finicky because he aims in a way that you don't necessarily expect him to. Luckily though, these UFOs are on set cycle, so there I got it really well the second time.
And it's really not too fast to try again. It's a couple second time loss. That was really great. Speaking of money bags, we're going to be exiting or warping out of this level, then exiting from another one, and we're going to have our first run-in with moneybags. And you'll notice that Sheila, who we just played as, is locked up in a cage. Moneybags is the true villain of this game.
And she's doing just fine.
Wait.
About to be.
Yeah, she's about to be doing just fine. Moneybags is the true villain of this game. He's a greedy capitalist bear who locks people up for money, keeps vital kind of pathways like bridges and stuff from us. So we have to give gems to him, and if we punish him at the end of the game, we beat him up and steal all the gems back, and it's really satisfying. So we'd love to show that off.
Just look at him. Don't you want me to beat him up later?
Yes.
I know you do. Chat.
Yes.
Let's go.
Thanks.
All right, so because I'm at green sparks, normally I'd be at blue sparks here. I'm going to be getting some extra fodder. Not that one, though, because I don't want to. And this level is pretty straightforward. However, there's a little bit of RNG with where these Rhinox spawn. It's mostly an escort mission where, and I also messed up that jump, but it's fine. We're essentially escorting these goats to their homes and clearing out enemies along the way. However, sometimes where these enemies spawn and how they walk around is very unpredictable, so that one wasn't too bad. This next area is where I'm a little bit worried, though, because sometimes they will do things like spawn halfway hanging off the map and be very difficult to get to. So we're gonna see. But yeah, so another Sheila level. This is technically the level where you're supposed to first encounter Sheila, so there's a lot of sort of tutorialization about how she moves and stuff.
How does she move? What's her abilities like?
She does all kinds of hipping and hopping.
Yeah, I've noticed this.
And yeah, I know. It's very you might miss it if you're not paying very, very close attention. It wasn't terrible. It would have been better if I got them both at once, but what can you do? Definitely going to get this extra fodder because I am going to need it for this next boss, who is a butthead.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to exit level because now that we have completed every level in this hub world, once we leave, the NPC of that level, which in this case is Sheila, is going to talk to us and teleport us straight over to the balloon that is going to take us to the boss. And it's going to load it any minute now. There she is. All right, thank you, Sheila.
And with the power of friendship, they're going to allow you to get on this as well.
Thanks, friendship. Let's go. So you might have noticed that whenever I got teleported and Zoe zapped me, which, by the way, that is a sign that you got a checkpoint in this game. For some reason, right there when she zaps you, it like snaps Spyro 90 degrees to the side. So if you just hold charge trying to like go towards the balloon, you will bonk into that wall on the side. It's just a weird quirk of this game. Okay, so now we have Buzz, who has a couple different cycles that mostly just boil down to punching him into the lava and standing on the arena like this. When you do this, you can manipulate him to end his cycle quicker by jumping over the lava. Normally he would do a whole bunch of different cycles where he spins around a whole bunch of times. It takes a long time, but if you do this, he will go straight to his ending position. And you can also get lucky and he'll just do it like that anyway.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm also going to take a damage boost here, just because that gets through his cycle a little bit quicker. Gonna wait on him to go around, do a little jump. Sometimes Sheila's position either makes this harder or easier. She will get in the way, and you will get in her way, and it can cause issues. So far, it's been going pretty well, though. It's also very, very easy to accidentally stand too far away from Buzz and to have him just dribble you straight into the lava. So far, I've been avoiding that, but I have a history with this guy, so...
yeah, it's really unfortunate that happens.
Like that.
Yeah,
no lava, but...
if you're over the lava, you'll just get spiked and take 2 damage right away.
At least 2, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Whoa, that was scary, but I didn't die.
Nice, got out of there.
It's a bit of a messy Buzz, but not too bad. Still got the damage boost for the extra speed, and now we move on to the second hub world.
We were in Sunrise Springs and now Midday Gardens. We have a time-based, day-based theme in this one.
Yeah, I love how in the Spyro games there's sort of a theme to the hub worlds as they progress through. Yeah, so first sunrise and now midday. And the first thing I'm going to be doing right here at the beginning of this level is I'm going to be doing sort of a weird glide to get around another cutscene trigger. Earlier I did a glide around a rock to avoid talking to Bianca. This time I am going to just be jumping over her trigger. I'm going to be having to do that a couple more times, so here's hoping I never mess any of them up. And then I'm going to be running right over here to Enchanted, which is a really cool level. It's probably the biggest level in the game. And you might be thinking, Rody, you don't have sparks. That's bad because you need sparks to get gems. Well, luckily, there is a fodder right here at the beginning for safety. But also, we're going to be doing a quit out here that's going to make it not a problem at all. All right, so I'm just taking some fast pass over here to get this egg, Gladys. And then I'm going to quit out and reload. And what that's going to do is going to put me back to the beginning of the map and allow me to take a little shortcut to the ending, which is slightly faster than just going around the intended way. We're going to see if I get this first try. I've been getting it lately, but, you know, you never know what happens on marathons, right?
I guess this is a good opportunity to explain perfect covers, too, that we'll see right here. Perfectly executed. Never a doubt in anyone's mind. So that hover at the end of the glides, we're going to be using that a lot to get to kind of unintended places like what just happened. If you jump the maximum height, glide exactly like half a second, the first kind of frames that you're allowed to start hovering, you're going to get a little more height that the game kind of anticipates, and you can get to some really, really cool places and out of bounds and stuff. And now
The best part of the run by
Tony
far.
Hawk, Spyro skating, or something. It's skateboard time.
Yeah, let's get some hype for the skateboard level. Everybody that played this game as a kid has hype for the skateboard level, and for good reason, because they are super fun. But we're going to be getting through this tutorial as fast as possible because Hunter has some eggs for us, and so I'm going to be doing a roll here. I'm jumping off the side of that ramp there just because it's faster and it still counts if I land the trick he's asking me to do. And so, yeah, so I'm going to be doing a couple little tricks here, and at the very end we have one trick, but we can probably get 1 or 2 donations.
Sure thing. The Sound Defense sent in $100 saying, you know what they say, you can't get an egg without breaking a few bears. Donating to Punish Moneybags. And
Awesome.
we've got some love for your avatar here in these donos, actually. Shrink It Holloway sends in $123.45. I love the numbers. Saying, I'm very impressed that this rat can play Spyro so well with her arms crossed.
Yes, it's a very special talent of mine. So what I just did there was right there, you're supposed to like beat Hunter in like a points challenge where he like challenged you to get the most points. But if you just get I believe it's 2,500 points and then give up, for whatever reason, he gives it to you anyway. So I just did one really big trick and then gave up and then exited the level and
Honestly,
did another jump over that Bianca trigger.
Honestly, he should be just giving us the eggs anyways. Like, isn't he on our side? Like, isn't he an ally here?
That has always bothered me in all of these games. So this level is... Oh, and I messed up the damage boost, but we have a backup, not to worry. So this is Icy Peak. I actually really love this level. I'm always talking about how much I like the icy levels in Spyro. This one has a couple of interesting tricks and damage boosts. So what was supposed to happen there was I was supposed to punch that with my face, but not so early. And that would have broken that for me. But you'll get the chance to see that same trick again here in just a moment. I'm going to try for some swag stairs and kind of got him. So now I'm just going to be going through, trying not to take damage, getting that extra fodder, and lots of gems, and heading up to this little section. Ooh, that was a weird jump. Okay, that's fine. That's fine and normal.
I'm counting that as bonk.
Yeah, that counts. That's fine. Right here, I'm holding the analog stick and the D-pad at the same time to move this cannon faster. Very, very small time save, but feels really fun to just, like, spin it around. I lit this rocket earlier, which destroyed this hard chest, so I can get all these gems up here near Reese. I'm doing a little bit of blind movement here with that egg. That one always freaks me out, so I'm so glad I got it. And now trying for Maynard's skip, which is easy.
Ooh, yeah, that's not an easy trick. There's a very small place on that cannon you can stand. You can do like a charge jump to get a little extra height, and then you have to do that perfect hover at the end. Perfectly executed.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm just messing all of these up. I'm just gonna wait on it. You know what? That feels like that trick doesn't want to happen. So let's just let it have its way. So earlier, I've already gotten one question mark egg thief. I think
Yes.
this one.
Yeah.
And we're about to get a couple more. So these egg thieves are very interesting. Normally, you're supposed to chase this yellow one around, and then the red one will come around, and it's like a harder version. But if you just get the red one first, it just doesn't move. And similarly, this yellow one will never run backwards. So hopefully I don't mess this up. Okay, I got it.
Oh, nice. That can be...
If you miss that, it is a nightmare to do it as intended.
That's what I was going to say. It's not fun if you run past that.
Yes. But very, very lucky about it. You can also take it a little bit slower and just flame it, because like I said, it will never turn around like some of the egg thieves do. But I decided to just go for it, and we got it. And there's some more bonkenings for you. Uh-oh. Speaking of egg thieves getting away, that one's not as bad, though. We got Trixie, and now we're heading to our second companion level, which is our boy, Lieutenant Bird. Sergeant Bird? Lieutenant Bird. Sergeant. Bird. It's Sergeant Bird.
Trumpets engage. Get your trumpets out for this one. Get your
trumpets. I know there's a fun Sergeant Bird emote I've been seeing in chat. I would love to see more of that, because this level is wonky. He moves very weirdly, just like Sheila, but worse. And he's very inertia-based. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be trying to get this on the button before a little cutscene plays. and during that time, killing as many Rhinox and getting as many gems as possible while I'm waiting on this bird to get where she's going, because this is actually technically an escort mission. There are specific doors you have to open and specific Rhinox you have to kill in order to get her to move forward. And so I'm just grabbing this. Missed a 5 gem, but whatever. We're fine. Who needs those 5 gems? So this one right here is one we have to need. Please hit him. You see what? These rockets do not go in a straight line. They do not go where you think they're gonna go. They lock onto random things.
And they also shoot from the left and right shoulder, so you think you're lined up, but you're not. You're a little off to the side, and then you try to correct, and it's the other rocket that's shooting. The characters that aren't Spyro in this game are honestly not all that fun to maneuver usually, to be honest.
I remember as a kid absolutely loving those levels, but as a speedrun, I'm like, please get me out of this level. So now we're heading, that level is pretty fast, and this one, hopefully, if it goes well, is also going to be very fast.
And scary.
And scary. So if y'all are sensitive to scary content, hide thine eyes. First thing I'm going to be doing, though, is quitting and immediately reloading. That is because, for whatever reason, at the beginning of this level, there's like a couple seconds where it's just black and you can't move before the level loads. Whoops, ladder moment. But if you quit and reload, it skips that. Oh my goodness. Southern just jumped out in this level.
Back in the swamp.
Okay, but we're good. That jump is a little bit... It's not a very hard jump, but I miss it all the time and then get eaten by piranhas, so I'm glad that didn't happen. There's another auto-hover that helped me get over here a little bit faster. And we get the best egg in the game, in my opinion, which is Thelonious. That's my hot take.
That's your hot take.
Is that Thelonious is in fact the best egg in the game.
Sound off in chat. Best egg in game.
Yes. I would love to hear people's favorite eggs. So there are many of them. Favorite so far and favorite upcoming.
I mean, if you'd love to send those in as donations, I'd love to read them out for Rody and Mads to hear. And speaking of, I've got donations, so when you've got time, anytime.
Yeah, you have time for 2 or 3 before a little trick here.
Great, then let's get those in real quick. Brando Music sends in $25. No comment, but thank you so much for your generosity. And Jason sends in $10. Love GDQ and everyone who makes this possible, donating to punish that pesky money bags. And speaking of, I'd love to give an update. We are slightly under halfway through this run, and we are slightly under halfway to needing that incentive. Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon Punish Money Bags incentive is at $954 out of $2,000. We can do it. We got to meet this before the end of the run. I believe in you, chat.
Nice.
Awesome. Yes.
We had a really cool warp there, but we don't have time to talk about it because this is a really sick looking wall glide. Gonna get wedged right up here. Oh,
I failed it. That's fine. I turned the camera too early, but go ahead. Keep explaining.
Yeah, so in this one, similar to the mile skip in the beginning, there's kind of this point in the wall glide where you can't wall glide anymore. You hover to get just over it to get wedged. Oh, here we go. We'll see it now to get wedged just above it, and you can start wall gliding again. There we go. That's it. That's what we're looking for. There we go.
That was not clean, but I got it.
You got up there. That's a really tough one because, like I said, there's only certain areas of that where you can wall glide, and after we come up here and get the final egg of the level, we're gonna open up some paths. And another cool trick here to get this egg thief. I guess it's not really a trick. It's just being nifty.
Yeah, so a lot of these egg thieves just won't go backwards, and so you can sort of trick them by getting them started moving and then getting ahead of them on their path, and then they'll just fly right into my flame like that. Glad I got that. So yeah, so this is an interesting level because we basically do it backwards. Essentially, I did that end of level skip, which that big long wall glide was for, which allowed me to take this backwards, which, you know, I'm still going through and getting eggs, but is faster because the eggs and gems and things like that tend to be... yeah, there's you.
Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you. It's my favorite egg. Yeah.
In general, end of level skips are really useful because a lot of the eggs are sort of weighted towards the back end of the level, and so it makes us have to do less movement to get to them. There's a few levels where we'll be doing that. But first I'm going to be turning around and getting all these juicy gems and heading into the next boss before Evening Lake. this boss is actually pretty easy. You can still take damage just because of the way the camera works. But it is probably the most RNG dependent boss, I guess, at least the first phase of this boss. Because the first phase, you're essentially looking for these lava rocks to pop out for you to headbutt into him. And I'm going to be taking a little bit extra time, if I can, to line them up. Because it is very easy to accidentally hit them and have them go way off to the side. So I always like to take it wide just to make sure I have plenty of time to line it up. And I actually got wildly good RNG.
Nice.
And salvaged it. So those shots from his gun will destroy them. So that was a huge risk I just took to do that. I'm so glad I didn't take
gasped.
damage. That was that was a bit of a swag moment. Okay, and now for the second phase, we have to wait on Sergeant Bird to drop us these rocks, which let us have these power-ups. But it's pretty straightforward, so now would be another good time for donations.
All right. Well, I have here $25 from Sharkzoid. Here's a little help to give moneybags the worst possible bear market. And Saint sends in $250, saying, not sure how we punish moneybags, but he's definitely deserving. Thanks to everyone involved in this great event. Go Roadie!
Thank you so much for those donos. I was so excited about those donos that I forgot about early. I definitely
I thought we were going to tell everyone you got it no matter what.
Oh yeah. I forgot
that was early
about
whirly. That was early whirly. Stand at a specific spot and you get on the whirly gig faster. And Roadie did it perfectly. Everyone saw it. It was really cool.
Yes.
Hopefully that's the last time we see Spike. We might have to revisit that boss later, but probably not.
We just love Spike so much, sometimes we just like to see him again in the run. And you'll see why, or you hopefully won't see why.
Right.
No spoilers yet.
Who's this character?
Oh yeah, who's this character? So this is the one time Bianca is not skippable. Later on I'm going to talk to her even when she is skippable, just because it's more consistent in my opinion. And now we're heading into Frozen Altars, which is another interesting level with some interesting glides going on in it. So first I'm going to be getting lots of gems that are sort of hidden off in these corners. I'm going to be not killing these enemies and freezing them so that I can use them as stairs to get over this wall, which normally you have to get into this like laser generator thing to melt it. But I'm not going to do that. I am going to be lining up this jump a little carefully, just so I don't want to miss it. And taking this very intended path to this egg, Cecil. Maybe jumping right over here.
That's the power of those perfect covers. You've seen them a lot here.
Yes.
Right there again.
Okay, and now this is going to be another unintended sort of sequence break, wall glide.
Ooh,
so
sick.
glad I got that.
Easy peasy.
It's a little bit questionable, but whoa, no, no!
You got this.
Take it back up. I'm gonna take it back up.
Yeah, you can still glide past there. Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't had to do this back up in a long time.
You got this.
That was an example of those. There we go. There we go. Whew. That was an example of those egg animation, or those egg camera locks being a huge pain. So the reason that happened is because I started charging to the right, while my camera was such that the right was where I wanted to go, and then the camera started returning to Spyro, and then the right ended up being the wrong way.
Yeah.
I know that was like
correct.
Not. Yes, indeed. Anyway, but we're out of Frozen Altars. I swear, something goes wrong for me in Frozen Altars every single run, but I just accept it at this point. And now we're getting another excellent egg. Over here in this sneaky little cave, we have Stubby. Who also is in here with lots of gems that I'm going to be getting. The next thing I'm going to be needing gems for, I'm going to be needing a whole lot more gems for. Which is for Bentley, who is the sort of companion character of this hub world. And for that, I'm going to be needing 1,000 gems. So right now, I'm just portioning out and trying to pace my gems so that I don't get too many gems, because that's slow.
All right.
But making sure I'm where I need to be. All right, are you ready for the fan favorite?
Noodles. There he is.
Hype.
Nudes.
Okay, I did not want to do a weird camera thing there, so I made sure to set up that glide. Did not feel like dipping my toes in lava on this day. And at least until later when I do it on purpose. Anyway, so this level, we're basically just going through it as intended. There is a skip coming up, but there's probably time for 1 or 2 donations.
Sure thing. We have $25 from Zoya saying, every time I play Spyro 3, one of my favorite parts is chasing money bags. Let's punish that there. Ragnarokette sends in $50. We're getting a lot of money bags hate, by the way. Money bags pushed me on the playground. Money bags pushed me on the playground and took my gems. Please help me get them back. And Surf sends in $10 with a very simple message. Good luck, have fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sir.
You got this.
All right, so this is Sam Skip, which I've already sort of messed up, but we're going to be trying it. Oh my gosh, he's being really finicky. I'm actually just going to completely reset it because that movement, that position he was in, oh, and it also stays the same. It looks like I might have to give up on Sam Skip, which is unfortunate. Essentially what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this guy to, A, look at me, and B, throw a bomb.
There we go.
Such that it can damage boost me up here. There we go. Earlier I got some weird ones. The first time he threw it and it bounced way too high. The second time it was like the opposite. So yeah, that's a bit of a finicky trick, but I got it. So I'm glad I didn't have to go through that casually because that is always unfortunate. Okay, and that is Fireworks Factory. So now what I'm going to be doing is doing a fun little quit out skip to avoid something we lovingly like to call jank whale. So in this level, just here in the hub world, there is an egg inside the whale. Wonder if you can guess what that egg's name is going to be, chat. We got Jonah. Jonah's in the whale. But then I'm going to be quitting out and continuing because it's not much faster than going out normally.
Yeah, he like
get to the level.
sneezes and there's an animation.
Yeah, there's a long animation, but in addition to that, sometimes it glitches out and the whale will just like spin around in a circle and not want to spit you out, and then it will like come out his side. I don't know, it's super weird. So to avoid that, we just do a little quit out there. So this level is Charmed Ridge, which is probably the most stressful level in the run. We tend to call it Cursed Ridge for that reason. So Mads, I might let you have point here while I focus on not
Absolutely.
perishing.
This is a very stressful level. It's very cool though. So there's a lot of things going on. We're going to be gliding right past that ferry, and we're supposed to be killing these people to like have them put that down. So some cool little, there's Bonk, cool little movement to get around that. Another wall glide, really well done. Get Mo over here, and we'll go in the back way. We're supposed to go a different way. I don't even know what the casual way for this is to get in here.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Get some gems here. Rhodey has a really cool kind of safety strat here to use this flame power-up to kill those enemies, which would be in our way later. We're going to refill the flame power-up after collecting a few of these gems.
I'm going to wait for this just because I really need the gems.
Yes.
Normally, I missed a fireball earlier is why I had to do that. But.
And you'll see again the kind of gimmick of this level when she gets over here. I'm going to be shooting these wizard cat things.
And I'm on a timer.
And on a timer, yes, that is important to note. Timer's running down. Get that other cat, which will open this door and also put these stairs stationary. Another perfect hover. And then this is really the hard part. Ooh, auto hover there. The mushrooms. So we got Jack going up the beanstalk to get the golden goose or whatever the narrative here is, but really it's these mushrooms. We are supposed to have a puzzle to how to get on top of these, but if we just perfect hover, just like that, we can get onto them. A really nifty charge glide there. And coming up is the really tricky one. So as Jack meanders his way up to us, we're gonna get one more seed, and we're gonna go around the back way with a secret glide. And there's a special property to these mushrooms. Second bounce, actually, you go higher. So what Rhodey's gonna be trying to do is get the second bounce, get a perfect glide, and then a perfect hover right on the end to skip a whole section. That was really good. I know Rhodey was really worried about that trick, practiced it a ton,
that jump
and
so much.
I'm so glad you got it. And now we're gonna get this really cool swag double. Yeah!
I got the double, yay!
That was awesome.
And a lot of gems.
That was really great. So get some extra gems there. And that was the hard parts of Charmed Ridge. Now you just gotta go to the end.
Yeah, it's a very stressful level. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of things that can go wrong. I'm just so lucky that I didn't die. Like, that's a charmed ridge where I don't like fall off completely is I'm happy. But the last thing we do here is we flame this last wizard, who opens the final door, and I actually think the plot of this level is super cute, because now the princess fairy is going to run away with her bad boyfriend, and live happily ever after the end. Bye-bye, Charmed Ridge.
Good job. That was really good.
Yes, thank you. So coming up is a level called Lost Fleet, and this one actually has some very, very interesting sequence breaks, despite the fact that we are still having to do an escort missions during it. So this level, it's actually very easy to just skip to the end of the level. However, I'm actually going to be getting my good luck gems. Those are my good luck gems. Total, not worth it, but I always get them anyway. There's a very quick wall glide here, which will take us to the end, but we still have to break down some doors in order to guide Ed here to the end. So there's that fancy wall glide. So normally this is like what you're supposed to be doing like after you complete the level, but I can actually shoot this one door from here. Please get it. Okay, I got it. Take this definitely unintended path. So this is a Chad where you're a Chad. This is a Chad. This is a Chad where you get the egg. A Chad named Egg.
Yep,
and,
that was perfect. Everyone, we all understand.
You know what I mean. You're normally supposed to swim through a bunch of acid to get there, but that lets us get there differently. But now we have subs, and so I'm going to shut up and let you talk about subs.
Yeah, so subs. There's not much to say about subs other than it really, really sucks. You're trying to shoot down all these enemy subs. That's really great. Lined up that first one. You can lock onto them after you kind of look at them for a while. That was really good. Rhodey kind of wants to shoot a lot of them before the lock-on happens because it takes a long time, but really, as long as they don't get away from her and she's got to go chasing around everywhere, it's a good subs. So let's get this last one. Ooh, when they go in these tunnels is where it really gets kind of dicey. Nice. That was perfect,
not bad.
but that was very good. Subs can go from bad to worse. In some of the really optimized routes, there's another version of subs that you do after that that's even harder. You put Ludo in earlier in replace of that, right?
Yep. So one really cool thing about this game, especially while you're learning, and what makes it a really good speed run to like be first starting out. It was my very first speed run that I learned.
Oh, nice.
Is that there's some eggs that are slower or more consistent, but are easier. So there's sort of a couple eggs. I think there's like 6 or 7 of them that you can sort of pick 3. On which ones you want to do, and that's a really fun way to sort of customize your route here. So yeah, that was Lost Fleet. Pretty quick level if it goes well. Also a level with a skateboarding level. Unfortunately, we only do that one skateboarding level in this speedrun, I'm sorry to say. And now I'm just going to be cleaning up these last couple eggs that are in the homeworld here and making sure I'm at 1,000 gems. So this would be another good time for some donations.
Sure thing. I've got a little bit of a long one here for you, but Osborne has sent in $5 asking, why would Roadkill need revenge? Or is someone seeking revenge on the Roadkill? These are questions even scientists can't answer. One question anyone can answer is Rhodey an amazing speedrunner? The answer is undoubtedly yes. Rhodey has been an amazing friend and racer with me in our races and speedruns, and I couldn't have asked for a better competitor. Good luck, Rhodey, and keep being awesome. From your friend Oz. P.S. The tie will soon be broken, likely by you, but let's pretend I have a chance.
Thank you, Oz. Are there any others? This level is pretty straightforward.
Sure thing. I've got a $25 donation from Chibi Flame. Very simple comment. I think very appropriate. Rawr! And I would actually just like to point out, we're at $1,034 out of the $2,000 that we need to meet the Punish Money Bags incentive. We are so close, y'all, but you don't have much time. You have only until the end of this run, and that's like about 25 minutes away. And speaking of which, I have a $1,000 donation here from Anonymous saying Spyro 3 is my favorite game of all time. Thank you so much for that generous donation, Anonymous.
Wow, Anonymous, thank you so much for that. That is amazing.
Just as a quick reminder, you do need to select the incentive when you make your donation or it won't go to that. So, chat, we're counting on you. You can do it.
Yes, you can definitely do it. I believe Yeah, so this level's essentially just another sort of escort mission. It's weird how a lot of the levels in this game sort of boil down to that.
Yeah.
So this one we have Bentley escorting his brother Bartholomew back to his house and trying not to let his brother get hit by snowballs because he's a good big brother like that. And pushing lots of crates around. However, Bartholomew is very finicky about his AI sometimes. You might have noticed me being very careful about not trying to talk to him early. It's just very easy to block his path and then he'll get stuck. So I'm just making sure that I'm behind him at all times and making sure he has plenty of time to get to his destination. But that is the end of this level. And I'm going to be guidebooking back to put us next to the this time it's a rocket ship to go to the last hub world. We're moving up in the world. But this boss is sort of the scary part of the run. There is a trick here that if I get it, it saves about 1.5 minutes. But if we don't, we have a backup. So I might be focusing on this just to make sure I handle it as well as I can.
Yeah, and as we get to Scorcher's Pit, I'll start explaining the rocket storage strat. So, like the other bosses, we're going to have another character helping us. This time it's Bentley. And Bentley is going to be tossing some weapons to Spyro. Namely, a red rocket or a green rocket. And we need to use these to damage the boss. The thing is, we want to take one of those green rockets out of this level to use later for a big skip. So what Rhodey's going to be trying to do is kind of going through the normal motions of killing his enemies and then damaging Scorch, and in essence wants to be leaving red rockets on the field.
Yep.
Yeah, leaving the red rockets on the field because it wants to manipulate Bentley into throwing a green rocket right at the end of the fight. If Rhodey does it frame perfect and kills Scorch right as Bentley is throwing a green rocket, we'll have a few moments to pick up that green rocket after the cutscene for the end of the fight. And that'll allow us to bring that rocket into Midnight Melt. So we're coming up on it. There's a couple more hits. It seems like the arena is set up pretty well.
I'm hoping that one red doesn't despawn, because it can despawn if I don't pick them up fast enough. Okay, we got it set up.
Here we go.
Give me your energy, chat. Bentley's already being questionable.
We'll wait till the next round.
I specifically am waiting until Scorch does a specific attack. He's being a butthead.
While we're waiting, can I make a quick announcement?
1 sec.
I got it.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
Let's go.
That was huge.
First off, congrats on that. And second, we've met money bags.
Hey, nice.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. Thank you, chat. Oh, I need all the hype for rocket storage and for punishing money bags. I am so ready to take out all my anxieties.
I need to emphasize how difficult that trick is. You have to manipulate Bentley, you have to manipulate the boss, you have to kill it at the right time. You have to then get that rocket in the very short period of time to pick it up. That was so cool, so well done.
Thank you so much. I was very nervous about that. So earlier when we were teasing potentially having to go see Spike, that is the backup for this strat. So similar to how you can store this green rocket, which I'll even show you in a second, just for marathon purposes. If I flame right now, it is a green rocket, and it will stay like that until I teleport in any way. So that's why I'm avoiding guidebooking until I get the trick that I need with it. However, you can similarly get the purple rocks from the Spike boss fight. You can store them almost the exact same way, but it's much easier to do.
Purple rock, schmurple rock. We don't need it. You get rocket storage every time.
It's the easiest trick in the world.
So here's what we need it for. Almost.
Not that. There we go. That's it. So essentially what that does is it lets us get this egg thief who is in a... Where am I going? Who is in an airplane, who flies around this level, and getting that storage essentially lets us shoot him with it, which teleports us to the end of the level, which, as I mentioned, end of level skips are useful. Also, here's another fun skip. I fell up on purpose because I can just fly over here and jump on some terrain. Don't you worry. But in addition to that, it lets us skip paying money bags 800 gems. Because otherwise, if you have to go through the level normally, there's a bridge that he holds hostage from us. And so teleporting to the end lets us not have to pay that. And as you might imagine, 800 gems, having to collect that many over the course of the run is pretty significant. So we like to not have to pay money bags. Yes, we do.
Yeah, money bag's bad.
Yep, so I just got the end of level egg, and now there's 2 more eggs here. This one I just have to fly right over here to get. Pretty easy. And then I'm going to be lining this up sort of carefully just so I don't mess it up, because there is some sort of invisible terrain that's very easy to like roll off of on accident. That's why I take that really wide. And I hovered a little early, but that was questionable, but I made it. And now coming up is probably the last major stress point of the run other than the final boss, which is a skip called Torch Jump, yet another end of level skip. So Matt's has been talking about perfect hovers. This, in my opinion, is probably the most difficult one to get in the entire run. And it allows us to jump straight to the end of the level of Haunted Tomb and just get that end of level egg. And it's right here at the beginning. Essentially, there's a torch here that I can hover and jump on a very specific pixel. So I'm going to be focusing here for just a minute while I try and line this up.
Yeah, this is very precise. Another quirk of this level is those puddles on the ground. Oh, got it. 3rd try. Beautiful. Puddles on the ground are RNG of where they're going to be located, so it's hard to line yourself up on the ground as well. Just to throw...
Whoa!
Whoop, whoop.
I almost went through the portal. That would have been so bad. Yes.
Yeah. So that was really good. It kind of sucks that you got it so fast because like it's so hard. People think it's so easy now.
Yeah, I said before the run that I was going to be extremely happy if I got that skip 3rd try, and I got it 3rd try. So let's go. So here this is another set of eggs that I like to do. That's sort of one of the optional routed eggs. Here quickly, I'm going to be swapping to keyboard and mouse, so it's going to get a little bit shaky on the camera, so I apologize about that. I'm going to be taking some interesting strats here to have these shots curve around these torches, these things, and hit enemies that normally I would have to be going very out of my way to get. I took a little bit of damage there, which is a bit spoopy, but I should be okay here. Let me just clean up these last guys, shoot to the left side, move to the right, and make that guy move into my bullet, hopefully. There
Nice.
we go. Other than taking damage, that went really well. Okay, so I got those 2 eggs. I'm going to be going back up here. I'm going on this lovely slide. We don't take slides as intended in this game. I'm going to be just gliding over. Took it a little low.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Made it, though.
But I was able to get Malcolm here. And then jumping over. So doing that torch skip and taking this level sort of backwards like that lets us avoid these areas that have these really scary, like falling rocks in them. That are sort of RNG. I don't know. They're not really, but they feel like they are. And so that was Haunted Tomb. That was a pretty okay Haunted Tomb.
Oh, that was a very good one. Got torch skip.
Okay. Yes, I can breathe easy now, ish. All right, so we have just a couple levels left here in Midnight Mountain. Gonna be taking one little detour up here. You might be noticing that I'm still getting gems. All the gems that I get from here on out are not intentional. They are literally just gems that I happen to get while walking towards the eggs I'm trying to get. That is because there's only one more thing we need gems for, and I only need 300. And as you can see, I've accidentally gotten myself up to 210 already. Midnight Mountain has way, way more gems than earlier in the run. So it makes it very, very easy just to not even worry about it. So I'm going to be taking a quick little skip here, hopefully first try.
Nice.
Ooh,
that was really good.
Yeah, so that essentially just allows us to skip a little bit of platforming earlier in the level. I took a little bit of time to set it up, but still super duper worth it for the time saved there. These dinosaurs with guns are a real big pain. You have to be very, very fast at flaming them, or they will murderate you. They will combo you down really bad, especially right up here on this spot. Hopefully I get this right without taking damage. We will see. I actually take a weird little charge jump there in order to get out of range of the sort of blue turret dino, which lets him wait to start shooting at me, and it allows me to get to him before he starts shooting. It's a surprisingly tricky bit of movement right there outside that, so I'm really glad I didn't take damage. Another very, very fast level. So I'm just going to be taking some glides here and then jumping into Desert Ruins, but in the meantime, we've got some donation time.
Ooh, I'm just so excited. I forgot to unmute. But no. First off, thanks to your generous donations, chat, we've hit $25,000 raised. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to this, but wow, I am so excited. My mind is blown. Thank you all so much for those generous donations to Malala Fund. And of course, we got to meet our Punish Money Bags incentive because Anonymous came back with another $1,000 saying, my mistake, I'll fix it.
What?
We thank you so much for that generosity, Anonymous. But of course, Anonymous is also continues to be generous. Anonymous sends in $50. Punished money bags. A bag denied his money. And of course, SD sent in $25. Amazing run. So very happy to see a Spyro run. Runner and commentary is on point. Loving this. And we are loving your generosity. I've got time for one more if you've got.
Yeah, you can do one more.
All right. Well, Enigma Requiem sent in $25 to say Spyro was one of the games I grew up on. And the Reignited trilogy is wonderful. Good luck and go fast.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So we are now seeing Sheila for the final time in this run. We're only going to see one more of our companion characters and only for a very, very brief moment. And this level is actually an homage to Crash Bandicoot, allegedly, which I guess being a 2D platformer is an homage to Crash Bandicoot.
Sure, I didn't know that tidbit.
I heard that. Somebody said on the internet, so it has to be true.
Yeah.
And this level is very, very interesting because you might notice that sometimes Sheila does a really big, like, super jump up in the air. Oh, like that. I've been trying to avoid doing that because it is slow, and essentially it just works if you do a jump after landing a certain way or after double jumping. So sometimes we'll do little hesitations instead of just going forward in order to sort of reset that so I don't jump. I did mess it up once there, but still was pretty good. And I also did a little damage boost to get up towards this section, which you're supposed to take a really long path to get around to. I did that earlier. And now I'm actually going to be going all the way back to Molten Crater. You thought we were done with this level, and you fools.
Tricked you all.
Tricked you. We just wanted to see a little more Molten Crater, right? And we wanted to pay money bags one more time, right? We love paying money bags. So I'm going to do that just for you, chat. And also enter the area where our last two egg thieves are. Now these egg thieves are meanies. These are probably the worst ones in this run. I'm probably going to be taking the second egg thief here a little bit safe. Yeah, another couple quick donations.
Sounds good. And I do want to shout out one of the incentives we have for tomorrow, actually. Tunic, you can choose the fur tunic colors of our player character. And one of those options is Spyro, in fact, who is currently winning at $25 to Sonic's $15. So if you want to prove that Spyro can indeed go fast, that's a great place to put your donations. And speaking of, Ishante sends $25 to say, love your avatar, Roadkill, and loving the run so far tonight.
Oh gosh, thank you so much for those. And we're getting close to the end of this run. Sergeant Bird is our last friend companion character we get to see here, and we get Luna. And then I'm going to be going all the way back to Desert Ruins and getting one more egg. This is a very interesting part of the run that mostly saves time because on PC, this game uses a loadless timer. So those load times are free. That was a wall glide I did right there just to get to the end of the level, which is a very, very tricky wall glide. It has a couple different setups to get it to work. I'm very glad I got that first try.
Terra Craft.
Yes, Lara Craft.
Lara. Legally distinct.
Yes.
Explorer of a synonym for tombs.
Yeah. Ruins. Desert Ruins. So, yeah. Yeah, when I first started learning this game, that end of level skip was a huge wall for me. So every time I get it, it makes me smile. All right, so now we have the 100th egg. Let's go, Billy. I'm hoping I don't die here. Okay, good.
Good job.
That whirlwind is mean. Sometimes, for whatever reason, the whirlwind's like base is off of the off of the platform, and if you don't line it up just perfectly, sometimes even though you definitely touch the platform, you will just walk off. So I didn't. And now we're into the final boss, the sorceress, the cause of all of our strife, I guess, for distributing all these eggs everywhere for us to chase. And she, once again, is a 3-cycle boss, which is going to have us using lots of different vehicles. But first, wait, who is this?
Wait.
Does anybody
what?
know who that is? I've never seen him before in my life.
Get this monkey out of here.
Anyway, yeah, there's a monkey here for some reason. Don't worry about it. He acts like he knows us, but like, also, what is her deal?
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway, so this monkey that we've definitely never met is going to be shooting down these vehicles, starting with the turrets. I'm going to be trying to hit her on her path, but she's actually very, very good at juking. But we only get to have to hit her twice, because no matter what, once you hit her twice with that vehicle, it ends that cycle and goes to the second phase of the boss. And now I'm just going to be dodging her attacks and waiting for the turret to drop, which if I could just use the turret for the whole boss fight, I would, and you will see why very, very shortly. There's a little bit of RNG with what attack she's using, but overall they are very, very easy to dodge. However, I am going to wait this one out just to make sure it doesn't get me right as soon as I get into the vehicle. Because when that happens, you do have to wait for, hello?
You got
Hello?
this. There we go.
Okay, there we go. So when you're in the turret, you can just sort of get her in this loop. Whoa, that was a little dicey, but we made it. Yeah, essentially she'll just continue using her melee attack, and you can abuse that to just spin around and hit her repeatedly. And the last one, though, is the UFO, which is way, way more difficult to control. And I'm going to be using the D-pad here to make sure I don't accidentally lift off, because I do that. So there's one hit. Time is going to be coming up on the final hit to the sorceress with this UFO. Hopefully she doesn't knock me out of it, which she might. Oh, like
dang.
that. Okay, that was mean. That was on me, though. I got way too close to her, so we'll just wait on it to drop the last one. Oh, thank you, Sergeant 9. Sergeant 9? Something 9? Agent 9.
Whomstever you are.
Lieutenant 9? I don't know. Time. Yay, we did it, and we get the 101th egg, George. However, we actually get another extra egg thanks to our donors' amazing generosity.
Now, how many times?
First of all, we have to get through our credits, though, so GG's. Not a bad run, I think.
That was a great run. Good job.
Thank you. So, let's do this. So first of all, I'm going to just show my in-game timer just for posterity. In-game time by this game is normally just done by pausing as soon as you get through the cutscenes. And there we go. There's my in-game time. So I have a question for you all, for chat and for host and for Mads. Are we ready to punish Moneybags to end off our day on a good note? Because I think I am.
Hell yeah.
Are we ready? Okay, well, let's do this. All right. Time to punish. Let's go. So he always waits here in the middle of this bridge.
Don't worry, Spyro.
I'm just going to go ahead and let him talk to us so we can hear his annoying voice before we shut him up. Because, not only has he been stealing our gems, he's also been holding an egg from us this whole time. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have to do subs. Alright, so let's kick his butt. Let's go. He is going to be running in a circle, and I am going to be flaming him as slowly as possible so we get to see those yummy, yummy gems return back to us.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this that I always think is a really fun detail is that because in the speedrun, we actually skip paying Moneybags a lot. So he actually has less gems than he normally would if you complete this game casually. So that's something to keep in mind if you play the game on your own. That you might end up actually getting to chase him more than I'm getting to here. We'll let him think he has a chance, but he doesn't. It's fine. And I believe I should have to hit him one more time if I did my math correctly. There we go.
We defeated capitalism.
Right,
we did it.
We defeated
It's over.
capitalism.
I never knew dragons were so fast. That's it.
Yes, but look, he even has a happy ending, so we don't even have to feel too bad. He gets to retire to a swamp, I guess.
You retire from
All right.
imprisoning creatures.
And here is our final egg, which I will also let the animation play out because they're cute and we skip all of them. Alright, so that is Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon Reignited. Thank you all so much for watching this run, for donating to make sure this incentive was met to let me show this run to you all, for continuing to donate to let me chase money bags and feel better about my life. And also just for supporting this event in general. It's such a wonderful cause and such a wonderful group of people and runners that I'm happy to be a part of. I'd love to shout out some of the people from the Spyro Reignited community who donated. I really appreciate y'all being here to support me and for helping me get better at this run. All of them that I heard donated are definitely better runners at this game than me, and they've been nothing but amazing to me while I learn this game. So yeah, Mads, do you have any quick shout outs?
Yeah, first of all, shout out Rhodey. Everyone give her a follow on Twitch. She's super cool and does Spyro and some other games, so you should definitely follow her. That lizard's really cute. I've never seen that animation. Thanks for having me. We have a ton of runs coming up the next week, so make sure to keep stopping by. And I think that's it.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, thank you both so much for that run. Oh, that lizard is just adorable. And thank you all again, chat, for helping us meet. Oh, that poor lizard. For helping us meet our final incentive of the night. Meet money bags. Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry that I did that to you.
And we're gonna wrap things up here. But once again, chat, you all have been amazing today. Thank you so much for supporting us and watching us today as we raise money for Malala Fund. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's ! schedule in the chat if you want that handy link to our schedule. If you loved the classic PlayStation platformer that you all just watched, Spyro 3, let me tell you, our first run of tomorrow is Crash Bandicoot Warped. Any % no item glitch being run by Rexy. So you're not gonna want to miss that. And of course, tomorrow is our horror day. We've got a whole night of spooky runs. So I hope you're ready to get cozy with the scares. And before I forget, how could I possibly forget? We have our tiny little fox block. Trifox and Tunic will be being run tomorrow, and those Tunic incentives are still up. Let me correct myself. You can get Carrarium to dress up in a fox cosplay as she runs Tunic, and you can dress up to the fox and Tunic yourself. Again, we have a bid war going for that. Just because we're ending for the night doesn't mean your donations have to. So thank you once again all so much for supporting us here today. And again, please come back tomorrow, come back all this week as we continue to raise money here at Frost Fatales 2023 for Malala Fund. My name has been Zokubun. This is my shift for this event. But it has been an absolute pleasure to be hanging out with our runners as we do this. Please, we're going to a short break, but please stick around because we will be rating another wonderful speedrunner afterwards. And chat, I hope you all have a fantastic night. Remember, the category is no major drooling. Good night.